Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 76 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on spontaneity. So, yay for day 76! 24 days to go. So, today is spontaneity. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I have a few things, but I'm kind of like, I'm not entirely sure how to share this, if I'm supposed to share this, but I'm going to share it because I'm excited. Anyway, so I was not sleeping when I should have been sleeping. I was attempting to sleep, and I didn't turn my phone off, so I was getting text messages and phone calls because not everybody knows that I sleep during the day or during the morning, and I'm only up in the afternoons and the evenings. So anyway, so I only had a couple of hours of sleep, but I was just like, oh, what the heck? Why are people texting me? And then I looked at my text message, and then I was so excited that I couldn't go back to sleep, which is super annoying because so tired I couldn't do anything either, or I didn't want to do anything either. But and I'm really tired too. Woo. Sorry, can't talk about being tired or I start yawning. I apologize. Anyway, so I got a text message about the dedication for the Mesa Temple. Very excited about that. So I know we did the open house. It is now finished, so it's no longer open. The temple is no longer open to the public. So it will now be members only, kind of like one of those member-only clubs, but I think it's like the coolest member-only club to belong to. So super excited about that. And they will be doing a dedication that will be broadcast to other church buildings from the temple, but it will only be members only, not open to the public. You will have to have a special recommend that you have to show in order to get into the church building in order to watch the dedication, participate in the dedication. It is not open to the public dedication. So, so it's really kind of a special, cool, amazing thing. And there's a special room in the temple that they do the dedication. I'm not entirely sure which room that is. I think maybe I don't know. Anyway, I was going to say I think maybe I know which room it is, but I'm not going to get into that in the video. Just it's sacred things, not necessarily secret things, but special. It's just very special. And one of the apostles will be coming to dedicate the Mesa Temple, which is super exciting, to have a living apostle of Jesus Christ to be here and be in the temple and be that close. So, but only like people that might be singing as part of the dedication, like the little choir that they have, or like dignitaries, the temple presidency and things like that actually get to be in the little room. So I get this text message today saying that I have a ticket to go to be inside the temple for the dedication. So my brain automatically goes that I get to be in this special little room with the apostle. Like this is going to be like the most exciting thing in the world to me. I don't even know how I would get picked for something like that. I'm not like some special dignitary, amazing person or whatever. And then I messaged my vision board friend, and she was saying, yeah, I think they're doing that for all of the people that helped with the temple, but they're setting up chairs in all of the other rooms because it's a very big building. It will be broadcast just like it is for the church, but we'll be inside the temple. We just won't be in the room where the actual dedication is taking place. So I was obviously taken off my pedestal a little bit, kicked down a little bit, a little disappointed. Not a lot disappointed, to be honest, though, because just knowing that it's interesting because I've been to General Conference and been in the same building as prophets and apostles in the tabernacle when they had the old tabernacle before they built the conference center in Salt Lake. But I don't think I fully grasped or understood the concept. And the more I understand and come to love and know my Savior, Jesus Christ, and his atonement and his sacrifice for me and how much he loves me, the more special and endearing it is, the idea of being in the same building, in the same proximity as one of his apostles. And it just, even though I just get to be in the building, I don't get to, I probably won't get to meet him or shake hands or do anything like that. I get to be in the same building, and it's just, that to me is just it's amazing, and it's a super sweet, sacred experience that I will get to have. And I may never have another opportunity like that in my life to. I mean, I've seen temple dedications before, but always from a church building that was broadcast, and had my little special recommend to get in to see it. So this time I get to be in the building, even if I don't get to be in the room where it's being dedicated at. But it's the whole building is being dedicated. It's just the special dedication program, prayers and things that they do will all be in another room. Anyway, I'm just like I said, not really sure how much of that I allowed to share, but super excited about it. So that was kind of a fun, spontaneous thing that kind of got me up and bouncing, and then trying to sleep, and then not being able to sleep because knowing I had too many things to do that did not get done because I did not sleep. So I gotta love my brain, how that works, because I'm like, I don't have energy. My body's like, we're not doing anything. We're too tired. And my brain's like, yes, but I'm too excited. I'm too wired. We can't do anything. So like, we can't sleep. So it's just like, okay, love my life. Love my life. And then this is not a spontaneous thing, but I'm going to share it anyway. There was an interfaith, like Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving thing that I went to for like 3 different churches that my bishop set up with some other religions. So it was at a different church building, which was kind of interesting. So I went. So there's kind of a spontaneous thing that goes with this story. It's not entirely not spontaneous. So I was planning on going. So I knew I was going to go to work. I either had to go to work early so I could get off early to go to this, or I was going to have to go to work late so I could go after this. Sorry. No sleep and stayed up way too late and have to get up way too early. Anyway, so I went to this thing, and I didn't realize that my vision board friend was there, or I might have sat with her, but I saw somebody else that I knew. So I sat by him. It was a guy. I met him a couple of years ago at our church does these self-reliance things, classes. I never mentioned that before. I did my emotional self-reliance class, I think, but that class was a find a better job, which I didn't find a better job, but it got me started doing my YouTube videos. So I was like, cool, that's what got me into my YouTube videos. So I guess that was a good thing. I did a few of them before, and then I kind of stopped and fizzled out, and then I started again, and I started with my 100 Days of Gratitude. So, which I've been doing pretty consistently of videos. Anyway, a little bit of struggling over the last 100 days, but I think I'm getting a little bit better. I hope getting back on track. We'll see. Anyway, so I met this guy then, and we chatted a little bit, but only about stuff that we were doing for the class. And we never, like, I see him at church occasionally, and he's always like, hey, how are you? And then he just kind of walks away. And I'm like, we never have an actual like conversation. So I'm sitting next to him waiting for this thing to start, and tried to engage in conversation, and he's just kind of like one word thing, just nodding, whatever. I'm like, okay, not gonna have a conversation, whatever. No big deal. And then when the whole thing is over, we stand up to leave, and then he starts talking to me, and I'm like, wait, you're gonna talk to me? It was so random or spontaneous, however you want to put it. So we had like it was like 2 minutes, 5-minute conversation. It wasn't a long conversation, but it was, and it was like small talk. It wasn't like amazing stuff. It was like, talking about what we're doing for Thanksgiving, talking about, the temple open house, the fact that he knew some of the people that were performing at this interfaith Thanksgiving thing that we did, Thanksgiving message thing. So it was kind of cool. And I'm like, yay, that's kind of cool. I'm not really sure what to do with that information. It was just kind of spontaneous. I'm just throwing it into my video because it was spontaneous. I'm like, okay, whatever. Not expecting anything to come of that, but I was like, wow, he actually can be friendly sometimes. Besides, we always smile and say hi to each other, but nothing ever comes of that. So it was like random. He actually wanted to have a conversation. So I'm like, yay, okay. And then, during the meeting, I got a text message that I didn't look at until I got out to my car to go to work. And that's another spontaneous thing that I have to deal with probably Friday or Monday. I'm not sure which, but it's really annoying because I mentioned this before in other videos, but sometimes life has a way of just keep popping up and doing stupid stuff that's really annoying. I'm like, I'm trying really hard to stay on top of my bills and get caught up on all the stuff that I'm behind on. and coming up with extra money because I don't have health insurance to pay for all of my medical stuff that I've had. And I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago to do, well, it wasn't to the doctors, it was to some place to do some kind of an exam, something that they, one of those tests that they do that they send the results to the doctor and then the doctor explains it to you later. So that was another spontaneous thing for the day. The doctor's office called me and they want to move my appointment from Monday to another day. And I'm like, yay, gives me more time to come up with the money to do more lab work and pay for the doctor's office. So I'm perfectly okay with moving my appointment. But I have to call them back to do that. Anyway, so I had to go get this test done. And I showed up late to the appointment. My bad. But then I paid for the test. And then the person that was supposed to do the test, apparently the technician that was supposed to do the test left because I was late and I was the last test for the day. And so he decided not to wait to see if I would show up. I didn't bother to tell the people at the front desk that he was gone. So I sat there for like half an hour and I was like, that's annoying. And then they're like, okay. So, and then they gave me my receipt and they told me I wouldn't have to pay at my next visit. So I went last week, second time round, on time, this time, for the test. And I literally just checked in and sat down for a few minutes and they called me back there. So I was like, awesome, that was fast. And then I got the test and it was done. But I showed them, because they asked me, they're like, you have to pay today, right? And I showed them my lovely little receipt and said, I paid last time. And they're like, oh, okay. They did their little thing on the computer. You're all good. So tonight I get a text message from this company saying, hey, you owe us money for this test that I already paid for because I paid for it on a different day than the day that I actually got the test done. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So now I have to be a grown-up and adult and I have to be nice and I have to call these people probably on Monday because it's a holiday weekend and say, hey, I already paid for this and this is my receipt. So you guys need to fix your records and stop calling me and sending me bills because I am not paying for this twice. Because I'm, I don't have extra money. And even if I did, why would I pay for something twice when I only got the test once? I didn't get the test done twice. I only got the test done once. So they're going to have to check their records and sort that out. But I need to be nice and explain that to whoever in billing did not get the information correct because they're sending me a bill. So I think this is one of those things like testing my patience, and also that God is trying to teach me that I need to speak up for myself because I can speak up for myself and I can put myself out there and I can, I don't have to just be like, oh no, I have to pay this bill twice, because there was probably a time in my life that I would have been like, okay, I don't want to deal with like the confrontation, so I will come up with the extra money and I will pay it even though I don't actually owe it. And I have done that. I really have. I had some collection people call me one time and they were like, you owe us $140. And I didn't even ask what it was for. And I just paid the $140 over the phone. And then they sent me a bill in the mail for like $200 or $300 or something. And I was like, what the heck? And then I looked at the bill. And the thing was that I was, at the time, I lived in a townhouse and it had a unit number. And for some reason, they didn't have my unit number. So I paid the initial bill, the principal amount, but I paid it late. So I was expecting to pay a late fee. And apparently I now owe them for like almost a year's worth of whatever late fees and interest off of late fees and nothing based off of the principal amount. And the $140 that I paid them was all late fees. And the original bill was like $40. Just putting it out there, it was $40. So I had to call them and I was like, are you kidding me? And they're like, well, we didn't have your unit number. And I was like, okay, but I got the original bill and I paid it. And I told you my unit number when I, signed up for this. So how is this my fault? And they went through like, okay, we'll waive all of these fees. And I'm like, of course you will, because I'm not paying interest and late fees on a late fee when you had the, whatever. Plus they got $140 out of me, which they should have maybe got $25 and that was it. It's like, oh my gosh, that's insane. And of course it went on my credit report, which was, showing late for like 6 months or a year or whatever it was. And I was like, holy crap, this is insane. So there is a time in my life when I would just pay. That was the point of that story, that I would just pay whatever. And so I'm grateful that I'm at a place I'm at a place in my life where I'm just like, I'm not just going to pay this because I know it's already paid. And yes, I know I'm behind on some things and I have to pay for things, and I'm trying to, figure out all of my stuff and be responsible for my stuff. But I'm also aware that I can stand up for myself and I don't have to pay for something, or I don't have to be just assume that I'm guilty or responsible just because somebody else says that I am. So I feel like it's showing me a lot of growth in myself, and I'm very proud of that fact that there's growth in me. And I'm also proud of the fact that I know, as irritated as I am about this bill being sent, that whoever's in billing or whatever, it's not their fault. So when I call, I have to be saying a prayer that I can be nice to these people and just politely explain and read them my receipt number and explain the situation and have them look at their records so that they can fix it and show that this bill has been paid, so they don't keep calling me and sending me stuff. But I'm not going to call somebody in the middle of the night or on a holiday weekend, because then they're going to put something in the computer for somebody else to do, and then that's may or may not get done. So I'm just going to wait until regular business hours and take care of that. So anyway, that's my spontaneous things, and things that I'm just super grateful for and feeling super loved and blessed, because I get to be inside the temple when I do the dedication, even if I don't get to be in the special room. Had a friendly conversation with a guy that I met a few years ago, that it was just, not that I expected anything to come of that, just it was very spontaneous and goes along with my spontaneous days. And so that was just a nice gesture, and just showing and seeing some growth in myself when it comes to dealing with things that I don't necessarily like and don't expect, because life always throws crazy stuff at me. I think it throws crazy stuff at everybody. I'm not unique in that, but I only know the crazy stuff it throws at me, and the crazy stuff that other people tell me about. I don't know about everything. I am not omnipotent, or omnipotent. I don't even know how to say these words. I should not try. I apologize. Anyway, I am super tired and wired and saying weird things, so I will stop now. If you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe find something fun and spontaneous to do.